Hello. It's me, I'm Pixel, and here with me there's Offie. We were not talking about stuff, and that's definitely not why we're late. Not at all.
I wonder, we should try doing just stream,
Just chatting.
like the chatting stream,
Mhm.
where we need to count how many jumps between topics we can make. Because I
That's
think
ah,
that would be hell.
that's called Evan ADHD, and that's how I just work. That's it.
Not same, but I'm not sure.
I am pretty sure, but that's okay. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
But yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
As a friend of mine said, if you want to be an anime character on the internet, you must have some sort of neurodivergency.
I suppose so. But I'm glad to be here, to be honest.
Me too, but I'm not saying that. I'm not seeing it as a bad thing. I'm saying. I'm saying.
Yeah, just a statement.
I'm just saying that it's just a thing, and I would like to pinpoint that the person that told me is also a VTuber and also neurodivergent.
Let's go. Hi.
Hi.
Last time in Umineko.
You didn't say who you are though.
Oh, I'm Offie. Hi. I'm Offie. I'm very excited. Umineko.
Umineko. Okay, so last time
in Umineko, the test actually started.
Yes, and went well. I think. Did they won in quote? Because I think that's what is supposed to be a good answer. I think. Right for Kinzo, I mean.
I think so. I mean, they had to show their resolve.
I mean,
think they are proving their resolve.
They kind of showed their resolve, but yeah.
Yeah. So much so that both Ronove and Gap were actually in a corner.
Yeah. They were getting
so much so
beaten
that
up.
Gap had to take some of the goats from Virgilia and use them.
Yeah. And use them without asking permission, and then the people in the cage actually managed to escape.
Managed to escape, also because of the single scene in the entirety of Umineko in which Kraus is not a complete bitch.
Also that,
and it's actually useful.
And also Death Flakes.
Death Flakes. A lot of Death Flakes right now.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think we were over here. The scene with Kraus just ended.
You can see actually. Yeah, we are back to Jessica. Yeah. That she was punching Ronove with brass knuckles.
Yeah. Yes. Being a badass, like she is.
Yeah.
Jessica had finally been cornered, with the wall at her back. Ronove advanced with his magic circle wall bit by bit, and would probably crush her against the other wall eventually. Considering the distance, she threw out her fists. This would be her final strike. Jessica had dealt out many punches so far. The wall wasn't invincible. It had already started to crack, and it would have been strange for it to smash at any moment. However, due to the rebounding damage, Jessica had also had cuts all over her body and was all worn out.
もうおよしなさい。あなたを押しつぶすつもりはありません。あなたの処遇は親方様が決めますからね。しかし、ジェシカ様のナイスファイトは私からも特に申し上げるつもりですよ。
ふざけるんじゃねえぜ。 まだだまだ終わっちゃ。
あなたは満身創痍。立っているのもやっとではありません。あなたは最後の一撃に全ての力を込めるつもりでいるようだ。しかし、その最後の一撃は、むしろあなたにとって命取りになりますよ。
The damage reflected by Ronove's magic circle wall was proportional to the strength of the attack. Jessica's all-out punch would be bounced back onto her. The more all-out she went, the more suicidal it would be for Jessica.
分かってるぜ。そんなことはよ。
警告します。もうおやめなさい。それがあなたのためです。
強がるなよ。お前の壁がもう破れかかってるんだろ。殴ってきた私には手応えで分かってるんだぜ。
Well, she's not wrong.
That was a fact.
Yeah.
Ronove's wall was already on the verge of breaking. Blinking.
Blinking.
And on top of that, blinking. Jessica's fists have been imbued with an unimaginable magical attack power by now, and their destructive strength defied the imagination. In the worst case, that destructive power might even pierce the defensive wall, smash Ronove as well, and create an expansion connecting this room to the next.
Basically,
A very strong piece.
a hole in the wall, basically, that's what they mean?
Yes. Yes. However, that damage would rebound on Jessica as well. She wouldn't escape unharmed.
もう一度だけ言います。おやめなさい。あなたのためを思って言っています。
やかましいぜ。覚悟しやがれ。
See, she has the brass knuckles here. It's a shame she doesn't have them in the other sprites.
Jessica howled. Putting all of the strength of her greatest and final destructive power into her fist, she roared.
Oh, okay. Oh, was like, nothing's happening.
No.
Of course it got cut here, because of course.
Of course. The three goats had been beaten down long ago. Without straining to breathe in the slightest, George cautiously closed the distance between him and Gap. It was after her. He was planning on bringing her down with a single strike. Gap was also aiming for a single strike. If she let that chance slide, she would be killed this time.
落とし穴は使わないのかい?
Even the tiny opening during the time it took to open the hole would prove fatal with George as an opponent right now. Gap cautiously calculated the distance and timing, but even as she did, George closed the gap between them.
来ないなら行くよ。
George closed the gap on Gap.
On Gap. Go George!
来なさいよ。今さら小細工も何もないわ。私のこの蹴りで決着をつけてやる。
For an instant, she thought George's body blurred, and then only his jacket was floating in the air. The moment she thought, ah! Darkness covered Gap. George, with his heels swung up high, was attacking from the sky like a massive dragon.
かかったわね。これで私の勝ちよ。後ろ宮ジョージ。
何?
Classic anime fight. Okay, I see.
Gap opened a vast pitfall with her in the center, swallowing up George along with herself. The two were swallowed up by the pitfall and spat out from the ceiling of the arbor. But that was what Gap had been after, so she alone landed lightly. However, there was another pitfall in George's landing spot.
もらったわ。後ろ宮ジョージ。 面白かったわよ。死になさい。あんたみたいな上等。後ろ宮家の当主なんてもったいないわ。今この場で私が食ってあげる。
George once again fell from the ceiling over the arbor. He had probably been dropped at the same distance as falling off the roof of a two-story building. In the sky, he couldn't control his posture in any way. It was impossible to resist or defend or avoid. As Gappa spun like a whirlwind, she concentrated all of her energy on the sharp tip of her stiletto heel. This was the final strike to perform his requiem. The final strike of the Queen Bee that would bore into heaven, knocking him down into true abyss.
ようこそ奈落へ。ここがあんたの終着点よ。
She closed in on her prey and stuck her foot up into the sky. At the time, she saw George's face. Even though he was in midair, he was calmly adjusting his glasses with the middle finger of his right hand.
Okay, okay.
And his posture was still preserved as that of an axe kick. Without the faintest deviation, he aimed for Gap's forehead.
君がその手に出ることは想定済みだったよ。僕が地上の君に飛びかかとを食らわせるために飛んでいたなら、僕の姿勢はとっくに崩れていただろうさ。しかし、僕の姿勢はいささかも崩れない。なぜかわかるかい？僕は初めから数フロア下の君にかかとを食らわせるつもりで飛んでいる。
He just knew. He just knew.
He just knew.
君の負けだ、お嬢さん。
ピンポン。
Oh. Oh, again?
The final, strongest punch that Jessica had raised reached the wall and was sucked in. It was sucked into a black, large hole that had suddenly opened on the wall.
What?
だからおやめなさいと忠告
Cap
した
opened that? Oh, are they... Did they put them against each other?
Yep.
She swapped places with Jessica, basically.
全然ピンチでもなんでもなかったの。ごめんなさいね。
Oh, this is new. It's your turn reading of him.
Sorry. Jessica's going for George's stomach. And George's axe kick had lined up on Jessica's head. The shocking destructive power imbued in Jessica's fist crushed George's organs and scattered his abdomen.
God, how strong was that punch?
Very, very strong. Extremely strong. The same destructive power in George's axe kick smashed half of Jessica's head and scattered its contents in the same manner.
Must be a beautiful scene.
Fortunately, we can't see.
Yeah.
だって
The description is enough.
魔女は演技力なんでしょう。ねえねえリーチェどうよ見ててくれたかしら。
Ah, Richan. Okay. Because
No,
Beatrice.
no, Rice.
Ah,
Beato Rice.
I heard Richan. Liche, okay.
No, it's Riche. I don't know why they just wrote. I don't know what they
Why they
just
wrote Beato? Yeah, I don't
Riche
know.
is fine. Riche is fine.
Of course. I wasn't expecting any other reaction.
やるな筋書き通りやっぱガープは分かってるじゃんイエーイ
Beato and Gap casually high-fived each other
From different layers? They can't do it?
from different layers. Of course.
They can just do
They are
that?
witches. They don't give a fuck.
Okay. Battle going Super Saiyan, basically.
こっちで美味しくいただけたジェシカの死体はそっちに返すわ二人で寄り添う死体を引き離す
I see.
これで第二の晩は出来上がり
Gap dropped Jessica's corpse through a peephole. And all of the chunks were thrown into Jessica's room.
Ew.
As carelessly as throwing something to the trash. Ew. Jessica's corpse and laps of flesh fell from the ceiling and poured all out over her room. Ronrad shook his head slightly as this gruesome change of scenery.
申し訳ございませんねジェシカ様ご忠告は申し上げたのですよもっともこの結末を予見し聞き入れないと分かっている忠告を重ねる悪魔の醍醐味は人間には分からないでしょうがね
本当に面白かったわ坊やでもあんたちょっと言葉遊びが過ぎるわよそろそろ反撃してもいいかなが最高傑作あなたどこかのラノベか何かにかぶれすぎ
About that.
I won! In the arbor brutally decorated by George's and Jessica's scattered blood and guts, Gap enjoyed a loud laugh for a while. But she quickly realized that, in all seriousness, this one was a little too filthy and undignified, and she snapped her fingers.
A little too filthy and dignified. Mm-hmm.
A little. Nah. Okay. As she did, a cloud of gold butterflies rose up around her, stuck to each of the beads and bloodstains, and dropped them. Then, Georgie's corpse returned bit by bit, and the brutal corpse with its guts torn out was repaired into a clean corpse that looked like it was living. Was this some act of sportsmanship?
I clicked by mistake.
Towards a dead rival. The heavens were split. Because Gap had lifted her leg high, pointed at the sky.
じゃあね、色男。これが本当のゲームオーバー。
That line. Splat! Without a trace of mercy, that foot stepped down and was buried into George's forehead. The stiletto heel that was sharp as a weapon pierced George's forehead. With a whoop, it was pulled out.
Because of course they need to get
The same marks.
yeah. They need to have
like
that.
a mark proving that Gap has.
Yeah.
It was like a mark proving that Gap certainly had finished him by her own hand.
They don't have the stakes this time, so they have to do it like that. That's it.
Yeah. I think the song is called Happy Maria, but I'm not too sure. I think that the song, that soundtrack is called Happy Maria. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Runaway also returned Jessica's corpse to its original form. And unlike how it had been with George, he restored Jessica's life.
Oh.
これは夢。
いいえ、違います。ジェシカ様は確かにお亡くなりになりました。最後の瞬間の記憶をよくご存知のはずだ。
Jessica's mind was burning. For some reason, she remembered being thrown somewhere and having George's heel smash her head.
私は生きてるのか。
Why did it brought her back to life?
いいえ、死んでいます。私の魔法でほんの3分ほど、それを先送りにしているに過ぎません。3分が過ぎれば魔法が終わり、
Oh, okay.
あなたは無残な頭部半壊の死体に戻ります。
だと
死は残酷。多くの場合、心の整理さえ与えない。しかし私はここまで検討したあなたをたたえ、その3分間でこの世の未練をよく整理されるといいでしょう。
その3分でお前を道連れにするという手もあるぜ。
But the power that had burned through Jessica's body until a second ago had been completely lost. Jessica was aware of that herself. She was already dead.
それでは私はこれにて失礼いたします。楽しかったですよ、ジェシカ様。
Runaway turned this form into a cloud of gold butterflies and disappeared. All that remained was the sound of the wind and rain, and the figure of Jessica as she crouched down, leaning against the wall. Jessica could tell. She probably really would revert to the corpse she had been after 3 minutes. Was there anything she could do in those 3 minutes? She stood up, and with a shaky gait, took the phone that was on the desk.
もしもし、ジェシカか。ジェシカ、どうした？無事か？
For a moment, I thought that she was gonna call the parents, but I was like, they're not there in the cage anymore, so they cannot answer.
Yeah.
やられしまっ
大丈夫か？怪我をしてるのか？今助けに行く。
いやもう遅いぜ。私さ、もう死んでるんだと。バトラが来た時には私は頭を。
くそじじいめ、待てろ、今そこに行くからな。
聞けよバトラ。いいか、よく聞け。幸田さんたちがどうして食堂で6人が殺された時のこと、歯切れが悪いのか。よ、あいつらな、人間じゃねえんだぜ。
あ？何を言ってんだ。
見ちまったんだ。仕方ねえだろ。あいつらさ、ワープしたりバリア張ったりやりたい放題だぜ。どこの漫画だよ、アニメだよ。いやマジでかなわねえぜ最初からさ、戦うとかバトラーが自慢してた。 棒仕掛けの槍程度でとてもどうにかなる相手じゃねえぜ。
A line of blood dripped down from Jessica's forehead.
ジョージ兄さんもダメだった。ありゃ即死だ。次のテストはパプラだな。お前のテストも私たちと同じになる。用心しろよ。そして間違えるな。
テストか？
違う。敵はどうせ人間だと間違えるなよ。敵は人間じゃない。恐ろしい魔法を自在に扱える悪魔な。そこを絶対に間違えるんじゃねえぜ。用心しろよ。
A line of blood dripped down from Jessica's mouth as well. The left half of her head started hurting. Jessica realized that she was about to return to the corpse she had been.
13人死ねば黄金の魔女が蘇る。母さんたちがこれで第一の番。そして私とジョージ兄さんが死んであと5人殺されれば儀式は完成で魔女が蘇る。父さんたち無事だといいな。もし無事じゃなくお前をテストするの復活したてのベアトリーチェ自身ってことになるかもしれねえぜ。
Butler already didn't understand what Jessica was saying. But from her tone, he realized that she knew she was about to die. So even though he didn't understand the situation, he urged her to give it her all.
私はもう死んでるんだって。じゃあな、もう時間みたいだ。テスト頑張れよ。お前が当主になれると。
ジェシカ、ジェシカ、おい、返事をしろ。
Butler's sorrowful voice could be heard from the dangling receiver. As she leaned against the wall in that corner, crouched down, Jessica's head had been half smashed.
ここは？
これは井戸なのか？ここはどこなんだ？
A well?
Oh well. Kira stuck her face out of the well, and then Klaus showed himself too. When he realized that they could see the back of the mansion from beyond a grove of trees, Klaus knew more or less where they were. To think that here, in a certain well, had been a hidden underground passage, which led to a
Oh, that's how to reach the mansion. Okay.
老体にはやはりこれは辛い。普段は別の場所からちゃんと階段で上がれるのです。鍵さえ開けば。南條先生には後でいろいろとここの構造についてシャノン、大丈夫かね？捕まりたまえ。
大丈夫です。カノン君、早く。
Kanan climbed up a ladder out of the shaft that was disguised as a well. That it was probably quite deep. When he looked down for the first time, he realized how far he'd come up.
Of course.
I was about to say, that's a very nice description of how deep the well is. Bang.
Yeah.
As Canon was about to finally crawl out of the well, a hole the size of a basketball opened up in his chest.
I mean, they never actually stopped them for real. They only
jammed them, yes.
Yeah, they only jammed that. They only delayed the inevitable.
Everyone there looked through the hole in Kano's chest to the scenery beyond. Kano slumped backwards and was swallowed up into the depths of the well.
捕獲されてます。回避できない。走って。一人でも生き残って。
At the time, Krause and Kirie and Nanjo certainly saw a golden curved line appear from the well and sew itself through the side of Shannon's head.
Shannon!
Her head had been pierced. The three had witnessed it perfectly until it had shot out of the opposite side, blowing it away. Shannon fell to her knees, blood gushing from both sides of her head, and flopped to the ground.
私たちは狙われ走って殺されるわよ。
走れ走れ走れ走れ
As Nanjo doubled over in shock, stunned by how Shannon had died, the sisters did not allow him to escape.
And also Nanjo's dead, of course.
Wait. A curved line again appeared from the well and pierced from Nanjo's forehead to the back of his head in an instant, sewing through him. Thump. And so, Nanjo passed away.
They always describe the sisters' arrow like a thread more than an arrow.
Yes, it's needle and thread, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
何なんだ敵はどこから
狙撃されてるのよ。どこか知らないけど私たちを完全に捉えてる。屋敷へ逃げ込むのよ。視界を遮るのよ。
Did it work until now, blocking their field of vision?
The two dashed towards the back door of the mansion. Then, right as Krause was about to shut the door behind him,
Yeah.
a golden curved line appeared from the fourth time, piercing Krause from the back of his head to his forehead and smashing that forehead. Rest in death, Black Krause.
Yep.
Krause's body leaned over, fell down, and drew a neat radial pattern with the insides of his head.
Ew. God. A neat radial pattern. What the heck?
Kire ran wildly through the hallway, flew into some room, and locked the door. But even so, she wasn't even remotely convinced that this had saved her life. She would probably die soon. Oh, it's this scene. Oh god, okay. It was apparently one of the guest rooms. At that moment, Kire's eyes fell on a phone on the side table.
Okay, she's also gonna call Butler, I think.
After hanging up the call from Jessica, Butler had been about to dash out. In that instant, the phone rang
Yeah,
again.
okay.
もしもし
So the two scenes were basically at the same times. More or less.
キリエさん。
はい、バトラ君、ラッキーだったわ。なんとか力を脱出できたの。本当についてた。
そこはどこだ。みんな無事なのかよ。こっちはジェシカとジョージの兄貴がどうやら。聞いて。私の命は多分もう長くは持たないわ。
Yeah.
At that time, right after she thought the keyhole of the locked door might have glowed gold, a gold curved line rolling a helix. No, a golden sewing thread penetrated in from there, at an incredible speed and bored a hole into the floor by Kirie's feet. Oh, that's unusual. The enemy, who sniped the other four one after another with extraordinary skill, apparently really does have trouble shooting me between the eyes with a single shot while I'm holed up in this room. But the next strike will probably hit.
I wonder why though. They never had a problem shooting people inside closed rooms and stuff.
I was thinking about it, but as I don't precisely remember if there is a reason, I would probably think that it's spectacle at this point. Let's remember
It could be, could be.
Everything. At this point, Kirie finally remembered the first massive killing in the dining hall. That's right. This is what killed Rudolph and the rest, all 6 of them.
Could also be that maybe there's like a range or something like that. Maybe she's too far away to be too precise. Could also be that. I don't know.
Could be.
聞いてバトラ君、私が見たことをありのまま話す。バトラ君はきっと私の頭がどうにかなってしまったんだろうと思うに違いない。ええ、思ってくれていい。私だって何を見たのか未だに整理がつかない。今日バトラ君たちがゲストハウスに帰ってから食堂で親族会議が始まって、そして何が起こったかを全て話すわ。口を挟まないで最後まで聞いて。途中で急に電話が切れるかもしれない。そしたらその時は私が殺された時よ。
キリエ。
Then Kirie spoke. About Kinzo appearing and the family conference starting. About the 6 being killed and the 5 of them being confined. About how she had escaped somehow and ran away where to she was now. And how everyone had finally been killed. It was all spoken dispassionately, with no dramatization, just as you've seen it. She even spoke about how everyone except her had been killed, and how she had observed the moments with all of their deaths. And how even now, someone was trying to kill her.
実はこの話をしている間にももう3度攻撃を受け、鍵穴からおかしな黄金の糸みたいなのが飛び込んできて、くるくる回りながら私を狙ってくるの。最初は足元、次は肩の近く、さっきのは耳をかすったわ。狙いがだんだん正確になってくる。
Hmm.
逃げろ、キリエさん。逃げてくれ。
どこへよ。私ここまで逃げ延びてきて部屋に閉じこもって鍵までかけてるのよ。それでもなお狙われてる私がどこに隠れるのよ。ねえ。ねえ、バトラ君、ジェシカちゃんとジョージ君、まだ生きてる？
Nope.
さっきジェシカから電話。なんかダメみたいだった。
やっぱり私たち5人が次々殺されるとき何か予感していたの。ひょっとして13人殺しの儀式は第2の番を終えて私たちの番にまで至ったのかなって。
Is it all 13 after Kyria? Is it 13 people dead? It's the 6 at the beginning, 2,
6 at the beginning.
and then Jessica and George, so
George.
it's 8, and then
8.
other
Then,
5.
Canon, Shannon, Nanjo, and
Kraus. Yeah, it's okay.
So
It
that's
is
12.
12.
12. And 13 with her.
Yep. Okay. If she dies, it's the last Twilight.
One. Yes.
つまり私が死ねばこれで儀式は完成。黄金
Yeah, okay. I had my answer. I didn't need to count, okay.
Oh, it's okay.
一体どういうことになるのかしら。こんな悪魔だらけの魔女だらけ、ヤギの化け物がうじゃうじゃいるこの島に、さらにそいつらの親玉である黄金の魔女まで現れて、 一体どうなっちゃうというのかしら。もう私には何が何だかわからない。
Kirie-san's voice had completely given up on her own life. Because Butler understood that. He couldn't stop his tears.
一つだけ助言できることがあったわ。
何？
もしあなたの前に悪魔やらその正体を疑う必要は何もないわ。そういうものだと理解して。
Wait, what? Understanding what it seems to be. That it is what it seems to be. Is this important? Because I feel like it's important.
I think it is. I think it is.
何か仕掛けがあるはずだとか正体があるはずだ、そんなことを考える余裕があったら相手の機嫌を損ねないことを考えた方がよっぽどに建設的。間違ってもなら魔法を見せてみろなんて言っちゃダメ。その証拠を彼らはこの上なく残酷な方法で見せるでしょうから。
信じあんねえよ、キネさんの口からそんなこと言われるなんて信じらんねえよ。
分かってる、信じられないのは。だからそれこそが私にできる。信じて。
ペアとリーチェと悪魔と魔女と化け物どもを
あれほどまでにこの世ならざるものをありありと見せつけられても多分何も信じることができなかったと思うの。今の私もそう。さっきから襲ってきて私の額を打ち抜こうとする者の正体さえ私には理解できず信じられない。だからあなただけは信じ理解して私たちに受け止めきれなかった存在を受け止めてほしいの。そうしてくれたなら私たちの死は無駄にならない。私もこうして電話をした甲斐があったというものだわ。
キネさん、
かすったけどまた外したわ。さすがに今度はもうありがとう。そしてさよならバトラ君。あなたのことアスムさんの息子だからと冷たくしたこともあったの。その日のことを許して。
許すも何も今はキネさんが俺にとっての母親だろうが。
I felt as though I had heard an incredible sound at the other end of the receiver. Then, a noisy clanking sound. As though the receiver had fallen to the floor.
キネさん、キネさん、
Kirie-san did not answer through the phone. Again.
It's only Marianne Butler now?
Yes, and most surprisingly, it's still the first night.
Yeah, I mean...
Nothing, no time has passed, basically.
Yeah, they all died at the same time, basically. Yeah.
どうしてバトラが怒ってるのか
Of
わかん
course.
ないよ。
わかるだろ。みんな殺されたんだぞ。あのクソジジイにベアトリーチェ復活の儀式とかわけのわかんないことを言った。
ならこれで13人が生贄に捧げ、もうベアトリーチェは蘇った頃だよ。
ああ、なら上等だ。ベアトリーチェもまとめて一緒にぶち殺してやろう。
マリアたちは儀式を生き、だからベアトリーチェに黄金鏡に招待してもらえるんだよ。
So, in the family, the only one that are alive are Kinzo, the two of them, and that's it, I think.
Kumasawa and Goda.
Ah, you're right. Kumasawa and Goda. Forgot about them.
Try opening the.
そこでは願いは
No, wait.
何でも叶う
I don't
I
think
think
we...
the theme is useless right now because
Yeah,
Butler
because...
has not seen anyone dead.
Yeah, exactly. There's no... examination of the bodies. Yeah. It hasn't happened yet.
家族を殺されたのが辛いなら生き返らせてもらえばいいのにマリアはそうするつもりだよ黒い魔女に取りつかれていない本当に優しい本当のママを蘇らせてもらうんだ
Your mom just like that girl. It's not any black witch. It's just she's just a bitch. I know it rhymes, but it's not the same thing.
だからママはもうずっとマリアと一緒お仕事とかで残業も休日出勤も何もないのずっとマリアと一緒にいてくれてマリアのことだけを考えてくれて
お前どうかしてるぜなんでこの状況でそんなわけわかんねえことを言ってられるんだ
バトラは今キリエオーバス魔女を信じろと言われたはずなのに
こんなとこでマリアと口喧嘩してる場合じゃねえぜもう人質も何も誰も生き残っちゃいねえんだもうクソくだらねえおかしな儀式もゲームもおしまいだぜここからは俺の好きにさせてもらう
Oops.
まだ生きてる奴がいるかもしれないあるいは隠れてる奴がいるかもしれない片っ端から調べて見つけ出しぶちのめしてやるぜ
In a rage, Butler grabbed his stand spear and flew out of the room. Maria watched him go, looking bored.
ベアトリーチェがすぐに願いバトラはバカ
At the time, the phone rang out again. Maria stood up and grabbed the receiver.
おうもしもしほう
Oh, again. I keep clicking, pushing M because it's next to the spacebar.
Of course, the sound of the phone also reached Butler's ears as he was about to dash out of the house.
Sorry, entered. Yeah, of
With
course.
a violent forcefulness, he turned around and dashed into the cousin's room.
マリア電話って誰からだ
With a terrifying look on his face, Butler yelled at Maria, who was on the phone. He couldn't blame him. Right now, the only humans left alive on this island were himself, Maria, Goda, and Kumasawa. But there was no way those two could call after being locked up in the garden.
What about Kinzo? It could have been Kinzo.
Yeah, which meant there was only one person
okay.
left. It had to be Kinzo. After continuing their pleasant chat with the person on the other end of the phone for a while, Maria slowly turned to face Butler. Then, with an unsettling expression on her face, she laughed.
Of course.
It felt almost as though the person on the other end of the line was chatting about Butler.
マリア電話の相手は誰だじいさまか
Butler couldn't imagine that this was the case. After all, it was inconceivable that Maria would talk intimately with Kinzo.
Ah, okay, then it's Beatrice, of course.
That she would be chatting about Butler with that eerie smile on her face. So, just what kind of person could be on the phone who could make Maria chat with a smile like that? At the time, in the back of his mind, the word Kiri had spoken to him drifted up. If a witch does appear, there's no need to doubt it. Just believe that it exists.
バトラー、今帰っせっかちだよね。
マリアその電話の相手は誰だ誰なんだ
変わる？うん。はい、バトラー。
After getting the consent of the person on the other end, she held the receiver out to Butler.
はい。
Maria held the receiver out for him to take, as though it was perfectly normal.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was... The exact phrase I was thinking, honestly. Like it's nothing, like it's normal.
Oh. Butler hesitated just a little bit before taking the receiver. After all, by accepting the existence of the person at the other end, it had no choice but to acknowledge them. As Kitty said, there is no longer any need to doubt that they exist. Butler took the receiver. As he did, Maria briskly left the room. Butler, who was a bit scared to find out for sure who was on the other end of the receiver, questioned Maria before taking the call.
おい、どこへ行くんだよ。
マリアのテスト。後ろ宮家の当主はバトラかマリアか。
いいか、殺されるぞ。
殺されない。儀式はもう終わってるもん。それに殺されても蘇らせてもらえるし、当主になってもなれなくても、もう私たちは黄金鏡にじゃあね、お先に。
待てよ、マリア。
It's the two genders. One is
Yes.
in pure panic mode, and the other one, oh yeah, I'm going out. Need anything?
Sorry. Oh god. Oh
You
god.
you good? You want
Yes.
me to read?
No, wait. Yeah, no, maybe it's better.
Yeah, I'll read. Don't worry. Butler stretched his hand out to Maria's back as she left, but the cord of the receiver that he was gripping stopped him, just like a chain. He readied himself. Butler put the receiver to his ear.
Oh my god. Sorry. I got a bit of PTSD from something that we haven't read yet.
Okay.
もしもし。
Congratulations! And I'm fine! And you?
This is
The lyric version of
no, it's the what? How's that thing goes? How are you? I'm fine, thank you.
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, oh god, it's Azumanga Daioh.
Azumanga Daioh.
Azumanga
Yeah,
Daioh.
thank you. Also, there's lyrics now, yeah. Screwed up, mocking English filled his ears. It was the voice of a woman he didn't know. Who was it? The inside of his head was starting to freeze up. Who was it?
誰はないであろう、後ろ宮バトラー。返事は普通。Yes, I'm fine! であろう。懐かしいな。中国でやっただろ。二人一組になってやるやつ。
行かれてやがる。てめえは誰だ。答えやがれ。
英語で言えよ。お前、そういうの得意だったろ。
English is his specialty?
ふざけんじゃねえよ。てめえは誰だ。クソジジイの手先か。
手先とはひどい言いざまではないか。むしろ虜と言ってやれ。金蔵庫わらわの虜。
I thought it was the opposite, but okay.
だろう。
Sorry, I'm trying to understand what that song says.
Wait, I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, okay, I got some of it. Okay, that's good. The last, that last laugh didn't sound like it was aimed at Butler. It was almost as though Kinzo was right next to the phone, cackling as well.
名を名乗りやがれ。てめえは誰だ。何者だ。
当ててみろよ。ハワイへご招待するぜ。
Oh, she have the outfit of chapter 2.
Yes. I have the lyrics if you want.
Yeah, send that. I will read them later.
Yes.
やっとだ。やっと。長かったぜ。本当に今日まで長い日々だった。マジで1000年は待ったぜ。今日という日をよ。おかげさまをもちまして、わらは大復活。
To him? What did he do?
Thank you.
Ah, Kinzo. Okay.
特別にさっきの待った聞いてやってもいいぜ。
やれやれ、上機嫌にも程があろう。もう少しは淑女らしく振る舞わんか。
Kinzo and Betji sat facing each other over the chessboard on the reception table. There was expensive cheese and snack to go with drinks, and there were several empty wine bottles lined up. As Betty rolled around on the sofa in an unseemly way, she happily held a wine glass in one hand and was probably completely drunk. Oh, okay, that explains a lot.
今日は最高にご機嫌だから大サービスだ。おいおい銀座、こんな年代物の寄付ワインなんか飾ってんだよ。1947年ものかよ。今日開けなくていつ開けるつもりだ。それを浴びせっこして遊ぼうぜ。空き瓶で殴りっこもしよう。
ははは、それは愉快だ。浮かれすぎであるぞ。ハメの外しすぎだ。
金蔵だって。わらわに再会できて嬉しいだろ。はあ、シャバだ、うつしおだ。わらわの肉体万歳。
お前、さっきから何を騒いでる。お前がベアトリーチェだとでも言うのかよ。
イエース。
Hi, Astra. There's an Helldivers movie in production starring Jason Momoa?
What?
Okay, no, seriously, what the heck? The Helldivers never showed their faces. Why? Beatrice Miles politically, yeah, but that's the whole point. Good evening to you.
金蔵の13人殺しの儀式のおかげでようやくわらわは復活したぞ。口があるといい。こうしてそなたと話せることのなんと楽しいこと。そういえばお前とはあれだけ何度も憎まれ口を叩き合って、こうしてゲーム中に盤上で会話をしたのは初めてだな。
Of course, but how does this butter know anything about this girl?
何やらとても新鮮。今のポンチョンと聞こえたか。あいつ開けたぞ。マジでバカたっけえ秘蔵ワインを開けやがった。いくらするか知ってるか。10キロのインゴット丸々と同じくらいするんだぜ。
ふざけるな。何がベアトリーチェだ。黄金の魔女だと。いい加減にしろ。どこにやがれ。
You were about to ask something, but in my response, we won't ask. The worst thing is that we do not answer. That's the thing.
そこにクソジジイも一緒にいるのか。てめえらまとめてぶっ飛ばしてやら。今どこにいやがるんだ。答えやがれ。
なんだ。モテる女はつれえや。でもの 金蔵がいる時に口説くのはよせよ。こいつマジで焼くから立ち悪いぜ。
Of course. We noticed.
時ならこっそり内緒で愛してやるからよ。
Uh-huh.
Beatrice.
イカれてやがるぜ。
金蔵、気が変わった。マリアのテストに笑うそなたがいて。
なんとではお前がバトラをテストするというの。
いいだろう。あいつさ、お前の若い時に似てるからさ、キュンときちゃう。安心しろよ。浮気なんかしないって。あいつと二人きりになるのは今だけ。わらわはいつだってお前と二人きりだろう。
Okay.
His image is not something I wanted to have.
No, me neither, but yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, okay.
そういうわけだバトラ。そなたのテストはわらわ黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが自ら執り行ってやろう。バトラ。そうだ。この屋敷の正面玄関にてバトラ。次期当主のマジで頑張ってくれよ。どうせ金蔵なんてすぐに寿命でぽっくり。
Doesn't look that bad to me, but okay.
バトラが次期当主になってくれりゃ、お前がこの島のすべての新しいお前。わらわを独り占めにさせてもいいんだ、金蔵の神さん。わらわを支配しておくれよ。
屋敷の玄関だ。衝動だ。このクソったらないよ。俺がてめえの酔い迎え酒には俺の熱いパンチをくれてやる。首を洗って待ってやがら。
Bartolo impulsively slammed the receiver down. There was no need to talk to Rain anymore. I'll meet her face to face and settle this.
This whole conversation was a fever dream.
Yeah, but I mean, she's drunk, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I took the spear I'd made from the handstand and went outside without even an umbrella. It's hard to imagine the young woman calling herself that she is waiting for me alone. I should probably assume that, as Goda-san and the rest said, she'll be waiting with supporting troops. Going alone would be too reckless.
久保田さん、熊沢さん、俺だ。バトルだ。
I headed for the garden and storehouse first. I need all the help I can get. Goda is big, so I can probably count on him for some firepower. Masao's knowledge familiarity with the terrain as a senior servant might become a huge weapon. Both of them have master keys, and they know more about the mansion than I do. They'll be pretty reliable allies. As I banged on the shutter and called out for them to open it, I remembered there was nothing they could do from the inside. I would have to get the key back from them before opening the door. I rounded the corner, knocked on the small lattice window there, and opened it. They're dead, aren't they? The scene in the shed lit by a dim light bulb was very strange. From a low ceiling beam, hung two thick ropes, and at the ends, Goda-sama and Kumasawa-san were hanging by their necks. It was dim and cramped because of the various pieces of equipment strewn about, so I couldn't make out the situation clearly. But when they showed not even a tremor after I called out to them, and because of the way the loops around their necks seemed to carry the full weight of their bodies, I could sense no trace of light from them. Did they hang themselves?
Apparently.
The shutter was still closed, and there was only a single key, which is supposedly being given to Godo-san. So how had the culprit opened the shutter and killed both of them inside? No way, they were necessarily killed. If this is a suicide, that way this closed room makes sense, but I don't know why they would hang themselves and commit suicide. Feebly, I slumped down on the spot. Now the only humans alive on this island are me, Maria, and that damn Geezer. No, there's also that insane woman calling herself Beatrice. Does Maria would act like the witch is alive from the beginning? That Geezer, the ringleader, who revived the witch. And the witch herself. What the hell? But now I might as well be the only one on this island. Using my pole as a cane, I feebly rose. Damn, I can't do it like this. I've got to avenge everyone. Might as well cry while I can, so that my frail emotion will be squeezed out with my tears. Then I straightened up and gazed into the darkness in the direction of the mansion. At the entrance to the mansion, the witch is waiting. I'll go and settle this. I'll find the source of this weird, insane night and crush her with my own hands. Amidst the pouring rain, I walked through the rose garden without an umbrella, letting myself get soaked. Could see the arbor on the other side. According to Jessica, it seemed that George and Nikki had also been killed. Well, by this point there's no need to worry about the lives of any hostages. I left the path, aiming for the arbor. Then, I saw George and Nikki's weather-beaten corpse. Oh! Now there's been the...
Sound, yes.
His corpse was found dead in a garden arbor. There was a single hole right in the center of his forehead. Probably reasonable to assume he was shot with a gun or something similar. It's a brand of humiliation, marking his defeat to Gap. A brand of humiliation. The corpse was in front of the arbor. If he had died under the arbor, he might have at least been spared being beaten down upon the rain. In his forehead was a gaping hole, as though he'd been shot with a gun. Perhaps because the rain had washed everything away, his face wasn't covered with blood, so it looked almost like he was sleeping. No, okay, for the two of them, it's not there. I was wondering.
Not that. I'm not sure why though.
Probably didn't see them properly, so that's why.
Understandable.
However, his clothes were stained a deep red, and there were still signs that a large amount of blood had flowed out. How happy I'd be if he were sleeping, or else pretending to be dead. But even though the rain sprayed against Aniki's eyes, they remained open. And the hole in his forehead was no joke, but absolutely real. There had been a faint chance that even Godo-san and Kumasawa-san, hanging by their necks in the garden shed, had been them playing a bad joke. The naive possibility had now been completely denied. Maybe now? No, okay. And as I looked at this corpse, I became completely sure. Just as Godo-san had once said, the enemy had come to take lives like pieces on a chessboard. The damn witch said something over the phone. Something about us being on the game board. Lightning caused the mansion's vast shadow to rise up. Finally, the mansion. As the massive shape came into view, there was no silhouette of any person. It seemed that there weren't any underlings waiting for me in a pack or anything like that. According to Kiryu-san, there were massive amounts of attendants with goat heads. At least for now, I couldn't sense a large group of them hiding and staring at me. What's this? Beneath the roof of the entrance, there's something set down. It looked like the kind of small box the girls often keep trinkets in. Maybe it was the same kind of extravagant cigar case you'd find in a reception room. Either way, it didn't look like something that should be here. It really looked as though I was being told to open it. But for some reason, opening something before offered to me was irritating. However, it didn't look like we'd get anywhere if I didn't open it. Could it be that it's set up with some trap to make it explode when it opened? Thinking things like that, forgetting even to come under the overhang, I continued to glare at the box, still beating down upon the rain. Then, mixed in with the thunder, was some kind of music? It sounded like that. It was the tone of the big clock in the hall announcing midnight. It was also a sound announcing this insane day, October 4, had finally ended, and the much more incredibly insane day, October 5th, had begun. The sound quieted, and I could hear an eerie laugh coming out of nowhere. I got the feeling that the voice was coming from the heavens, and I looked up at the sky. What I saw there was a woman I'd never seen before. No, it's true that I never saw her before. Saw her once today. Yes, in the portrait inside the mansion. The clothes were different, but that face was just like the witch of the portrait. Who am I kidding? I really know who this person is. Ah, she's on the roof. There's a lot of dedicated CGs for this chapter, actually. From the second floor balcony, leaning out under an umbrella and waving high-spiritedly, was without a doubt the witch of the portrait, Beatrice. Was the plan for the boss to take a bird's-eye view and let the god underling torture me to death? I adjusted my grip on the spear, and imagining gods creeping out of the nearby shadows and the entrance and surrounding me, I raised my guard in all directions.
安心しろよ。ここにはわらわとお前以外の誰もいねえぜ。ヤギの家具どももいなければ、悪魔の執事もお師匠様も、我が親友の悪魔もいない。そして、我が肉体の蘇生を手伝う黄金の蝶たちもいなければ、魔法陣もない。召喚者の立ち会いもない。その意味が、そなた
さっぱりだぜ。寝言言ってろ。
そなたとは確かにこの世界でも何度か会えてはまるですれ違うかのようにな。まるでそなたというキングに対して守りを固める堅牢な城壁。それをわらわは駒を一つずつ進め、切り崩し追い込み、そしてようやくわずかの隙間を開き、そこからわらわはビショップを送り込む。しかし知っての通り、ビショップは資格のある駒だ。黒のビショップはそなたが黒きマスにとどまる限り絶大な影響力を発揮するが、そなたがひょいと白きマスに一歩逃れれば、だからわらわはそなたが白きマスにとどまれぬよう様々な駒を送り込む。そなたの隣の黒きマスを支配するわらわの前に、しかし今やそなたの城壁はぽっかりと穴を。わらわはビショップではなく、とうとうクイーンを送り込むことができ。クイーンがどういう駒か知っている。
飛車プラス角だろ。言いてえことはこうかよ。今やお前は 黒い魔女幻想のマスだけでなく、白い人間世界のマスにまで自由に侵食できるようになった。
その通り。そなたはわらわの眷属である黄金の蝶たちが存在するマスのことを魔女幻想と呼び、観測者なき非現実と仮定して否定してきたのだろう。知っておるぞ。だからこそ
Oh, it's bugged.
わらわはこうしてとうとう白きマスへ降
It's
臨。
it's super bugged.
安心しろよ。黄金の蝶もヤギたちも悪魔も魔女も後でいっぱい呼んでやるぜ。
Yeah, somehow it's even more creepy like that.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of a pity because there's
わらわ
not
の
that
黄
many
金鏡へ
sprites in
招
the
待
ring.
してやる。
I don't know.
そこで何でも願いを叶えてやろうぞ。
Oh, now it's normal. Okay, it's back normal.
インク壺でもぶっかけちまったみたいだな。
なるほど。すぐにそなたもそのインクに染まるぞ。やがては真っ黒に染まる。必ず黒きキングにな。そなたは今インクの海に溺れる哀れな存在であるな。
いや違う。島がてめえのインク壺で全て真っ黒に染まっちまったことは白いマスはまだの。
ほう、どこに？
俺の足の裏にだぜ。お前の魔法のインクが島中を覆い尽くそうと、いけん。この島が真っ黒に染まろうと、白いマスをこうして踏みしめて立っている。
Still stubborn as ever.
Yeah.
Strange. The second one was shivering all over. But now she's appearing only openly right before my eyes like this. My terror is actually lessened. Interesting. Ghosts are more terrifying when you can only sense them. When you can see them and they have a face you can plant your fist into, there's nothing scary about it. Honestly, true. As I always say, when I talk about horror stuff, if you clearly see the monster, it's not as scary as not seeing it properly. Because and there's a simple explanation for that. Because if you see the monster, you know what it is. But if you don't see it, your mind fills the gaps in the worst possible way that it could exist.
Simple way.
However, she's definitely isn't an interesting or a friendly person. She can kill me instantly by snapping her fingers while rolling around giggling. Whether we interpret the result of her snapping her fingers as magic, flying at me, or handling showing up to shoot me, it doesn't matter. Anyway, whether this is fantasy or mystery, that queen is in a position where she can kill me by just snapping her fingers. I see. So, does this mean she's the queen of this island? Reigns over both the white and black squares.
さて、この雨の中、そなたが風邪をひくまで待つのも面白いが、そろそろ本題に入ろう。そこに箱があるのがわかろう。そなたへのテストは。
待ちな、俺はもう今さら次期当主が誰かなんてくだらねえゲームに。俺のゲームはクソジジイとお前とみんなを殺した奴ら全員にそれぞれ顔面パンチをぶち込むことだ。
ほう、わらわのこのバルコニーまで。それはよい、それは。ならばほら、早く来いよ。ほらほら、パンパン。
絶対安全な場所に嫌がるからって余裕ぶっこきやがって。今からそこに行くぞ。首を洗って待ってやがれ。
ダメダメ。鍵がかかっている。もちろん窓もすべて鎧戸をそなたが短期で切り込めるほどわらわの城は脆くはない。
Try opening the door to the entrance anyway, but it really was locked. When I look around, I noticed that the shutters were closed on the windows after all. Normally those wouldn't be closed.
用意周到なやつだぜ。 鍵はどこだ？
Motorcycle was someone probably had master keys, but they were in the closed room of the gardening shed. Can only give up for now.
くそ、やつもバカじゃねえってか。
そんなにわらわのすぐ隣に来たい。いいぞ。そなたがテストに見事合格できたら、合格ということはそなたこそが次期当主。わらわの肉体も魂もわらわは所詮は後ろ宮家の家具なのだから。
どうやらテストってやつをどうしてもやらせたいらしいな。いいぜ、受けて立ってやら。合格したら最初のご褒美はてめえに
それは怖い子だが、暴力に支配されるのも嫌いではないぞ。わらわの頭をこう苦痛に表情を歪めさせ、たかがその爪で獲物を引き裂きかきむしるようにわらわを蹂躙してくれよ。
That's just messed up, but okay.
ああ、若き日の金蔵をもう一度思い出させておくれ。わらわにこの1000年の生涯でただ一度支配され屈服し、家具に落ちる喜びを教えてくれたあの日のことを。
Okay.
拉致が開かね
え。You're a stupidly smiling witch. I picked up the box.
そうだ。中に手紙が。それを読むの。
I opened it. There was a faint smell of cigarettes. Brown really had originally been a cigar case, but there were no cigarettes or cigars inside. Instead, it was a Western envelope with a one-winged eagle crest. And when I opened that too, there was a letter inside. I looked up at the witch. She was grinning down at me. She said that she was looking forward to seeing what kind of reaction I'd have to the contents. Damn, just perfect. Its content were something like this. Among the 3 mentioned below, in order to gain 2, sacrifice 1. Oh, it's still the same thing, okay. 1, you're live. 2, blank's live. 3, everyone else live. If you do not choose 1, all of the above will be lost.
なんだこりゃ、随分と物騒なことが書かれてるぞ。それより2番目が空欄になってて、誰の命か分かりゃしねえ。
うん。その2番にはそのものの最も愛する者の名が、ジェシカのテストにはカノンの名、ジョージのテストにはシャノンの名が。彼らについては思い人がはっきりしていたから、あらかじめ名前を記入して、そなたの思い人をわらわはだから誰の名を書けばいいやらわからず空欄とさせてもらった。
そいつはちょうどいいや。愛してるぜベアトリー。お前の名前をここに突っ込んでやる。だから俺が選ぶ選択肢は2番だ。
Honestly, I would have done the same. I have to be honest, I would have chosen the same option.
これでいいか？
おいおい、茶化すな。なあ、頼むよバトラー。お前の思い人の名をわらわにじゃないとテストにならぬではないか。
悪いな、俺に特定の女はいねえぞ。仮にいたって誰がお前なんぞに話すもん。
そういうことではこのテストはそなたに成立せん。残念。そなたの思い人がどのような女か。
俺が黒髪長髪のまな板少女がいいって言った。お前とは一つも一致しねえぜ。
Ah, they're complete opposite, okay.
That's sarcastic.
But she doesn't have black hair or twin tails. Hi, Ado.
Wait.
Percasse has got purple hair.
Wait, I don't see Ben Castle. We haven't seen Ben Castle in so long.
Even if she doesn't have twin tails, in any case.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, it's purple hair. Yeah, purple.
She's just trying to be a villain? Yes. I mean, she is.
金髪のダイナマイトバディがいいんだろ。わらわがまさに理想の体現ではないか。
お前の3サイズを当てるのが次期投手のテストだってんなら喜んで挑戦してやるぜ。
バトル。
そうそう。
I mean, at this point.
次期投手のテストであったな。そなたと喋るのが楽しくて、ついついさっきから脱線してしまうわ。それでは、次期投手のテストをそなたに、後ろ宮家次期投手としての資格を殺して答えるがよい。
The witch who had been joking around like she was drunk until a second ago suddenly regained her dignity. It looked as though she truly had stepped out of that majestic portrait.
我こそは、後ろ宮家古文錬金術師、黄金の魔女にして無限の魔女、ベアトリーチェ。後ろ宮家の家督と、我が黄金のすべ、それをわらわが問う。そなたの名を名乗るがよい。
後ろ宮、バトラだ。
When faced with a dignity you wouldn't have imagined from her appearance a short while ago, I answered without any hesitation. And from that, yes, I see. Can't tell why she's worthy of calling herself the true queen of this island.
よろしい。後ろ宮バトラよ。しかしそなたはその後ろ宮の名を、この6年捨てたであろう。それはなぜか。
クソ親父に愛想が尽きたからさ。
知っている。父親の再婚が、そなたの敬愛する母親の死を冒涜したように感じたからであろう。なるほど。新しき母は、そなたと何の血のつながりもない。そなたがその母を受け入れられぬ気持ちは、わからぬでもない。しかし、父親が誰と再婚しようとも、そなたとの血のつながりは変わらぬのではないか。
何が言いてえ。
父親の再婚に反対するという、父親を独占したいがゆえのそなたの幼稚も、多少の理解。しかし、それに反抗するために後ろ宮の名を捨てるは、家と血に対する冒涜ではないのか。そなたは後ろ宮に生まれ、育まれてき、その恩を忘れ、後ろ宮の名を捨てる資格が、
お前には関係ねえ。俺と親父の問題だ。
後ろ宮の名は、お前と父親だけのものではない。お前は知らぬ女に父親を奪われることを許せず、反抗しただけの幼稚だ。後ろ宮家の席を捨て去ったこの6年間は、そなたが後ろ宮家に泥を塗りし短からぬ年月、その罪深きを知るがいい。
幼稚で悪かったな。
I mean, it was a kid though, if you think about it. It was 12.
しかし、祖父母の死を境とはいえ、よくぞ後ろ宮に席を戻した。よって、その罪を自ら見そぐ機会を今こそそなたの6年前の罪をあがなうとき。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。それを思い出し、それこそわらわがそなたに与えるテストである。
At that time, a massive thunderclap ran out, making my mind go blank.
懺悔せよって謝れって言いたいのかよ。
もうテストは始まっている。そなたの好きに考えるがよい。
The witch's expression did not look like a person forcing a tough question on someone and sneering at them. He was asking seriously, and he could even sense a quiet determination. Even though the rain fell on Butler, he did not shift his eye from that gaze. We threw her umbrella away. She abandoned herself to the falling rain, so that the rain would fall on her until Butler answered that question. She had chosen to let the rain fall on her as well until it reached an answer. For some reason, Butler understood that, and yet he didn't understand.
いや、それを言われりゃ幼稚だったとは思うぜ。何のかんの言ったって、親父に育ててもらった恩は、親父が再婚したからってチャラになるもんじゃねえ。親父は 養育費は常に送り続けてくれたそうだし、学校の行事にも参加したいと言っててくれたそうだ。それを俺が絶対に来させるなとじいちゃんたちに言ってたから。確かにそりゃ俺の幼稚な反抗だったとバッサリ言われりゃそれまでだぜ。いやでもよ、おふくろの後宮アスムの無念は、おふくろはあんなにも献身的に俺たち家族に尽くし頑張ってくれたんだぜ。なのに親父はキリエさんと浮気もしていた。園児を身ごもらせてさえいた。それで出産に合わせて駆け込むかのように籍を入れたんだ。それがおふくろへの裏切りでなくて何なんだよ。
I mean, seeing on that side, he got his reasons though.
おふくろの誰が晴らすんだよ。だがお前の言う通りでもあるさ。浮気は事実でも俺を育ててくれた恩は確かにあった。ならそれを相殺して俺が家を出ていくというので十分問題ねえじゃねえかよ。そうさ、俺にはおふくろの代わりに親父をぶん殴る権利が、いや義務があったはずなんだぜ。それを俺は許した。何も言わずに出て行って初めから俺なんていなかったことにし、親父も俺のことなんか忘れてキリエさんやエンジェと新しい家族をそれで丸く収まってるじゃねえか。
But since then, 6 years have passed. Time healed the anger. Kiri-san understood my anger, and even so she tried to interact with me, even if it meant tearing her part apart. Auntie didn't know anything about the situation, and even though I lived in a separate house, she was raised believing that I was a real big brother and loved me as if it were true. They casually said to come home anytime I wanted.
だんだんバカらしくなってきたんだ。そろそろ俺も頭を冷やしてもいいかなって思ったんだ。だから俺は親父が謝ったら全部水に流すと言ってやったんだ、じいちゃんの葬式の日に。そしたらあいつ本当に畳に両手をついて詫びやがって、信じらんねえくらいに情けない。あのカッコつけた親父が本気で頭を下げやがったんだぜ。それを見たらなんだかもうバカらしくなっちまった。きっとおふくろもそう思っただ。おふくろは俺と親父が喧嘩をするといつも笑いながら仲裁してくれて、なんだそんなくだらないことで喧嘩と笑ってくれた。俺はおふくろがそう言って笑っているのを感じた。だから許すとまでは言えなかったけど、もう一度ゼロから始めてもいいかなって思ったんだ。それで6年前に全てを巻き戻すことにした。それで後ろ宮家に席を戻したんだ。俺も6年間泣き怒り悩み抜いた。ひょっとするとそれは親父もそうだったろうし、死んだあるいはキリエさんやエンジェもそうだったかもしれない。だからゼロに戻し後ろ宮バトラに戻ったんだ。それは俺たち家族の問題であって後ろ宮家とかそんなのは何も関係ねえ。それを罪だと断じる資格はお前にないし、それをお前に懺悔する義務も俺にはない。もしそれを本当にすべき相手がいたとしたら、だから俺は何も謝らない、懺悔しない。それが俺のこのテストへの答えだ。
You're not ready.
Well, that's a good answer, though. It's a very explanative answer. I mean,
それだけか。
part of me had fully responded to her provocation, and her supposedly went at all the stuff I kept inside my chest. Stuff I hadn't wanted to show anyone. That was what the witch had supposedly been expecting. And yet, the witch's blank expression didn't change in the slightest. I've been sure she'd start cackling and guffing. Considering my childish, foolish and shameful past, but to the contrary, I could feel a sense of disgust about her. Something you could almost call disappointment.
それだけも何も俺は洗いざらいをぶちまけたぜ。何が不満なんだよ。
まだ 罪の清算が足りぬ。
生産なんだよ。親父みたいにここに土下座して謝れってのかよ。
違う。お前たち家族の、お前の家での話。ここはどこだ？六軒島だ。後宮本家の本宅である。この場所にふさわしい、そなたの思い出すべき罪があるのではないか。
What?
他に俺に罪があるってのかよ。
思い出す。
This is new also.
後宮バトル。そしてそれを思い出せぬ。だからこそ許そう。それを思い出せたなら許そう。それを思い出すことは
思い出せって言われてもよ。
What?
思い出せ。だからこそ罪なのだ。
俺には身に覚えがさっぱりだ。なんだか6年前の俺はお前とは今回の親族会議が初対面のはず。確かにお前の伝説は俺との面識は当時にはなかったはずだ。
無論である。6年前の六軒島において
なら俺に何の罪があるってんだ。俺にお前に対する罪が何かあるってのか。
同じことを二度言わせるな。わらわは6年前には
Okay,
天
then
然
what
して
did
おらぬ。
what did he do?
そなたと面識などあろうはずもない。そなたという世界において存在しないも同じだ。
Metal Skull Die felt as though they were pursuing some kind of sin. At a glance, felt as though she still hated me for something I done to her, and that she blamed me for it. However, Natalie didn't have a clue, and Beto had said it herself. 6 years ago, there was no link between us. 6 years ago, no person called Beatrice existed for me. Oh, it's also in red, so no... Okay.
This is correct.
ヒントくらい。
I mean, something from 6 years earlier, especially when you're like 12, and could be even earlier, very hard to remember, honestly.
その罪とやらは俺とお前に関係がある。
わらわは6年前にはわらわのことはいい加減に考えから。なぜわらわへの
お前の目さ。
目。ほう。
お前の目がさ、詫びろって。だが俺はお前なんか6年前に縁はねえし。本当なのか？本当に俺とお前の問題ではないのか？
違うというのにわらわとそなたの問題など全くか。
だがよ、お前の目がだから俺にはさっぱりわからねえ。赤で言えるが、お前が思い出すと言っている罪が俺とお前の間のものではないと宣言。
よかろう。
Okay, so it's pretty clear, it's not like that.
ならなぜそんな目で俺を見る？
わからぬ。わらわはそなたを、それをそなたがそう感じるというのならば、それはそなたにそう感じる何かがあるのではないか。
俺に何の罪があるってんだ？
後宮バトラには罪がある。
どんな罪だってんだ？どうせ叩いたとかごまかしたとかくだらねえ罪。
そなたの罪で。
Oh, okay. Oh, it's something big.
Is it?
嘘。俺は誰も殺してなんかいない。じゃあ言えよ。俺が誰を殺した？いつ？誰を？どうやって？
そなたの罪によりこの島の人間が大勢死ぬ。
What? Wait, no, wait. Are you telling me that all of this is because of Butler? All of this thing is because of Butler? What the heck did he do?
誰も逃さない。すべて死ぬ。
何をわけわかんねえこと言って。俺がみんなを殺したって言うのかよ。俺は殺人鬼か。
そなたが直接手を下すわけではない。しかしそなたが罪を犯したからこそ6年にもわたる歯車の今夜これだけの人命が失われるの。そなたはこの惨劇の原因の一つである。
How? Especially when you're 12. How?
いい加減にしろ。俺が原因だ。じゃあなんだ。俺が6年前に後宮の席を捨てたから13人が死んだ。俺が6年ぶりに後宮家に帰ってきたから13人が死んだってのか。ふざけるな。いい加減にしろ。俺はこの6年間最も後宮家から遠ざかっていた男だぜ。その俺が何のどんな影響は。俺だって好きで親族会議に来たわけじゃねえ。6年ぶりによりを戻したからこれまでの期間のけじめって渋々と六軒寺。別に俺は今日ここへ来る義理なんてなかったんだ。その俺が帰ってきてそれが理由で惨劇が起こった。じゃあなんだ。俺が帰ってこなけりゃ誰も死なずに済んだってのか。
What sense does that even make?
赤で言えよ。俺がもし帰ってこなかったらこのおかしな殺人事件は起こらなかったと言えるわけねえさ。お前が全ての犯人なんだからな。苦笑要求。後宮バトラがもしも六軒島に戻ってこなかったら言えるものなら言ってみろ。言えねえだろ。言えやしないのさ。勝手にその責任を俺になすりつけるんじゃねえ。
She's gonna say it, isn't it?
苦笑してみろってんだ。できやしな。事件に俺の存在なんか関係ないのさ。わけのわかんねえことを言って俺を混乱させるんじゃね
I began to remember the coldness of the raindrops that kept pouring down. The rain earlier just heard, but now I felt a tormenting cold from those raindrops.
何も。
悪いが俺にはさっぱり心当たりがねえ。おい、俺は少しイラつき始め。言いたいことがあるなら言えよ。俺に恨みがあるなら堂々と言えばいい。思い出せなんていやらしい言い方をする。
もう一度聞く。何も罪。
ああ、何にも思い出せねえな。
何も思い出せぬという。これにて未練は尽きたか。望みなき賭けも賭けねば未練が残ろう。それでよいのだ。賭けることに意味がある。そうかもしれない。ならばこれ。
Who is she talking to?
Beatrice inside to Beatrice outside.
Oh, okay.
わらわの未練もゲームもそなたはどうする。さあな。わらわはもうすまぬがわらわはこれにて。そうか、わかった。後のゲームはわらわが引き継ぐ。そなたは休め。後のことはすべて。そなたはすべてを忘れて羽の布団はそなたをすべてから優しく守ってくれるだろう。後片付けを頼む。任せよ。後のことはすべて任せ。眠れ。
Okay, this is also complex because there's two of them, so whatever. The witch who had questioned Butler did it herself, and the other witch who had appeared from behind remained. She certainly was identical, the same witch, but her expression was somehow indifferent and ice cold. Completely removed from the one who, despite seeming drunk until then, had been in high spirits.
聞いてるのか。テストとやらもう合格だろうと不合格だろうとお前の横っ面をぶん殴っ降りてきやがれ。さもなきゃここの扉を開けやがれ。
The witch did not answer. Her eyes were as ice cold as Butler's shoulders. She was now clearly a different person since the time she first appeared on that balcony. The witch gazed into my eyes and gave two small shakes of the head. Even without words, I was able to gather that she was expressing some kind of disappointment. Without saying anything, the witch turned on her heels. After that, only Butler remained, the cold rain still beating down on him. Now I have to know what he did. What the heck? The study was in the middle of a lively party. Seeing that Gab was making fun of Virgilia, I even tripped her up in some stupid way. They were spitting Lia and Gab at each other. With this as a sideshow, Kinzo Ronova had opened a new bottle.
おお戻ったどうであったかバトラのマリアのテストは文句なしに合格点であったぞこれはどうして
It's like Kinzo was that drunk. Chris and Beatrice would return and laughed with the same level of tension as the time they left for the test. However, Ronova and Virgilia instantly noticed the change in enthusiasm. Gab also froze in her expression and went silent.
どうしたベアトリーチェよ我が最愛の魔女よ酒が足りぬか魚が足りぬか
Kinzo cannot read a room, not even if it was written in all caps. Okay.
土砂降りを浴びながら牛でも丸焼きにしようかお悪くないロノウェ早速準備をせベアトリーチェよバトラのテスト結果はまずはスペアリブで乾杯といこうではないか
お前が丸焼きに
何
The witch was spoken bluntly, coldly passed by Kinzo's side as he doubled over laughing in a great mood. Then behind the witch's back, the old summoner's body suddenly went up in flames. Okay, we already seen this happened already. Okay. As crimson flames spat from his eyes, out, mouth, nose, every hole on his body, Kinzo rolled around. Even though it was a terrible hellfire, it didn't burn anything except Kinzo. He didn't have a clue what was going on. Unable to understand why Betisha had been in such a good mood, the sunlight turned so cold, he rolled around. The dancing silhouettes of the witch and demons created by their massive rolling torch looked like a group of excited spectators around a burning at the stake. However, the eyes of the demon who watched over it were indifferent. When Kinzo finally stopped moving, the fire disappeared, leaving a pitch-black corpse. The inside of the room was commanded by the stillness of the sound of the rain.
どうなさいましたか、お嬢様。
今日が冷めた。その邪魔な燃えかすを片付けよ。
The teacher's expression was unbelievably indifferent. It was a niceness that might be easily bring the others to the same fate as Kinzo if they annoyed her.
私が片付けるわ。
Gab made a jet-black pitfall, swallowed up Kinzo's cinders. If she hadn't carried out quickly, Gab might also have been burned. You could even feel that thirst for blood. No, a thirst for blood probably isn't the best way to describe it. Just like humans don't have particular emotion when they step on an ant while they're walking. That's how much unconsciously and mercilessly Beto was now filled with a brutal emptiness that wouldn't hesitate burying a passerby.
どうしたのです、ベアト。答えたくない。いや、答えるのももはやめんどくさい。どうしたのよ。らしくもなく。何かあったの？バトラが何か
Yeah, hit the mark.
Yeah.
But she didn't even answer. It seemed that she even ignored it. But when there was a changing gap. From her feet, a creaking, cracking sounds like thin ice breaking, and in an instant turned Gap into a glass sculpture. Oh, is she denying her existence like NJ did? Because it
Not
kind
sure. I think it's
Kinda
It
looks like that,
but
though.
Ice sculpture.
Yeah, but isn't it the same as it happened with Enge?
Oh, was it still ISO?
I remember ice sculpture, but I may be wrong.
I'm not sure, honestly.
しばらく消えろ。大変に不機嫌だ。
They just spoke that in a truly cold voice. We could freeze their heart, but just by hearing it.
かしこまりました。それでは私どもは何かございましたらいつでもお呼びを。
Robert said, nope, 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 no, I'm not staying here for even a second more. After bowing Renovator in a cloud of gold butterfly and hid himself. Oh, okay, she's still there though. Oh, so it's not the same thing, probably. After turning up, it would become a sculpture into a cloud of gold butterflies, which she also turned into a cloud which mixed with the others and disappeared. So okay, she's not dead. She's just made of ice now. In the study made untidy by drinking, Beatrice stood still, alone. Since the time she had returned, her expression hadn't changed in the slightest. However, when she saw the fallen empty wine bottle and scattered cheese plates, her brow furrowed and she looked a bit displeased. When she whispered disappear, in that instant the room was cleaned up in a flash as though nothing had happened. The reception chairs were neatly arranged and there was no wine or cheese. There were no stains or scattered trash either. To the contrary, even the air froze over. Enough to make one doubt whether a large number of noisy people really had been in this room until a short while ago. The study had returned to silence. In that silent, frigid study, where even the air had frozen, Beatrice stood still. Then she called, muttering.
バトラ、いるか。
さっきからいるぜ。何なんだ。一体お前はさっきから変だぜ。
変に見えるか。それはすまぬな。
あれだけ上機嫌に酒を酌み交わしていたクソジジイをいきなりお前の友人の悪魔女も悪魔の執事もお師匠も消えろの一言でさっさと出。お前どんだけ気まぐれでわがままなんだか。
バトラ、もうやめた。
何を。
わらわはもう飽きた。
はあ。そりゃまあお前が追っ始めたゲームだぜ。飽き詰まるところ投了って
投了などではただ終わるだけだ。いや終わりもしね。このままゲームが永遠に放棄されるだけだ。
そういうのをいや飽きて放り出すって言葉が。
その通りだ。飽きたから放り出す。あとは知らぬ。そのまま放置されて好きに埃でもかぶれ。
お前どうした。なんだかさっきからやりにくいぜ。まださっきのわけのわかんねえテストの俺に恨みがあるならはっきり言え。お前は赤で自分とは関係ないなんて言ってみせ。お前の俺を恨んでるってな。
お前に恨みなどないと何度言えばわかるの。
And then what happened?
そなたが罪を残したその当時に存在しておらぬ。
As Beto spoke with an offended expression, her face twisted to look even more displeased. Okay, then why she's that angry? Behold, inconsistent, moody, temperamental, selfish and simple-minded and cruel. But even so, she hadn't shown an expression as strange as these even once up until now.
ま、お前がふっかけてきたゲームだ。俺も決着がつかねえのは残念だが、気が向いたらぜひまた誘ってくれよな。その時は謹んでご辞退させてもらうけど。
He then spoke in a mocking tone, but Beto showed no reaction. Butter hung his head and clicked his tongue.
何度も何度も10月4日と5日をぐるぐる過ごしたわけだが、これであさってには船が来る。そうさ。そして船着き場には俺はようやく六軒島名物のあのニャーニャーいう鳴き声を。何しろ 島に来た時は天気のせいか全然いなかったからな。海猫の鳴く頃に全ては終わるってわけだ。終わり終わり。せいせいすら。
何をそな
何をだって。
何も終わらぬ。これにて全ては放置され、ゲームは忘れられ、盤上の駒はそのままに進みも戻りも取りも取られもしない。勝ちもなく負けもなく、ただ放置されるのだ。
つまりはおしまいってことだろ。
違う。わらわの手番にて永遠にゲーム。
Oh, it's like she's never playing her turn. Okay.
そなたの番は来ない。だから勝ちも負けも引き分けもないかつてのわらわは、そなたに勝つという目的があったからだ。しかしだからこれ以上手番を進む。
俺に手番が来ないというのはどういう意味なんだ。
I thought that Beta getting tired of the game meant that it'd be released and that I'd be able to escape Rokkenjima. But for some reason, Beta repeated words about the difference between abandoning the game and settling it caught my attention. That's what that she's been saying, and why the bad mood? That's the big question. At that time, I suddenly heard a voice from behind me. When I turned around, there was someone I thought I might or might not remember from somewhere. A mysterious girl with no light in her eyes was standing there.
その子が言っているのは、このゲームが駒をそのままに蓋を閉じられるということ。ゲームは終わらないまま永遠に留め置かれる。
あんたが元の世界へ戻ることのできる唯一の方法は、つまりベアトがゲームを放棄しちゃわかる？
Suddenly, in a different place was a girl wearing a bright pink dress. I had a feeling I'd met her somewhere too, but I couldn't remember. More important was the meaning of her words. Did she ever appear in front of Butler? Lambda Delta, I mean.
I think so.
I do not remember, actually.
そういうことよ。勝負は敵味方が揃わなきゃ決着しないわ。あなたにはもう永遠に勝利してこの世界から抜け出すことができない。
差し詰め、あなたを閉じ込めた檻の鍵を。
What?
Appearing in front of... What is it? Wasn't Lambda Delta appearing in front of Butler and saying, oh, you're against Ben Castle, wait, let me give you an advice.
Oh, yes, right. But just for a moment, probably, yeah.
Just for a second, yes.
Yeah, it was just for... So... Not so...
It wasn't a tea party.
Yeah, but only for like a fraction of a scene, and I didn't remember that. Yeah.
鳩の首輪にでもくくりつけて飛ばしてしまうようなものかしら。冗談じゃないわ、ベアト。そんなつまらないゲームを見に、これでゲームをお開きなんて冗談じゃない。
ラムダに同じよ。私はバトラーを勝利させ、まだその目的を達し、こんなところでゲーム放棄されて逃げ出されたんじゃたまらないわ。
キョーラを失望させるゲームの幕切れとなったことはしかしこの茶会のホストたるわらわは今日が覚めればもてなす術など知らぬ。もとよりそれがわらわの魔女たるゆえんのはず。何も問題はなかろう。
確かにあなたの競技には反しないわ。
私は認めな。ふざけんじゃないわよ。あんたにどんだけ肩入れしたと思ってんのよ。ここまでお膳立てさせてこれではいおしまい。ふざけんじゃないわよ。
わらわは飽きたとそう言っている。それ以上も以下もない。
そうはいかないわよ。
Of course, she doesn't want that because Berkatsa she would be able to leave.
あんたにはこのゲームを続けバトラーに勝利したいんでしょ。勝って屈服させたいんでしょ。もう一息じゃないね
え。そこで俺に振るんじゃね。ただ言わせてくれ。
何？
こいつはお前に売られた喧嘩だ。俺はお前とはっきり白黒を何度か屈服しかけたが途中で逃げ出して勝負をうやむやにして逃げるつもりだけはさらさら。俺がここにいて逃げるんじゃねえベアトリーチェ。
同感だわ。バトラーを巻き込んでおいて勝ちも負けも与えずに立ち去るなんて
Suddenly
無責
even
任にも程がある。
suddenly even Gretel was there, and everyone was calling Beathor responsible.
ほう、どうやらわらわが無責任だと罵られる最大の理由はバトラがならばバトラ、お前もまたわらわと同意。それでならわらわは批判される。
俺が降りると六軒島を
出られるわけもなく、勝手に誇りを浴びて肩にでも積もらせよ。ふざけないで。なんて無責任な人なの。あんたはこれだけ大勢の人間を殺した。しかも魔女の力によって何度も何度もむごたらしい殺し方で、その責任を取らず逃げ出すなんて絶対に。責任。ほう、わらわはどのようにして決着をつけるまで戦いなさい。バトラーは正面の席に座り、あなたに打ち勝つまで決して諦めずに戦う。だからあなたも任されるまで戦いなさい。それが嫌ならバトラーを任せてみせなさい。許さない。全てをうやむやにしてバトラーをこの席に放り出して永遠に閉じ込めて返さないなんて許さない。
Of course.
グレーテル。
To be perfectly honest, I didn't really understand from what standpoint Gretel was trying to save me, but in her words, I could feel a strong determination to save me from this insane game world no matter what. So I responded in kind.
So blind, so blind.
Yeah, I mean, there's another one that cannot read a person, not even if it was an open book.
こっちを向け。俺はここにお前の正面のライバル。わかるな。俺がここに座り続ける限りお前に逃げは。だから逃げるな。お前が始めた戦いだ。これだけ何度も何度も上等を決めやがって今さら秋田で終わらせられるかよ。俺はお前の対戦相手だ。俺がここにある限り逃げるなんて許さねえぞ。聞いてるのか。このなんとか言ってみろってんだ。
Why is she that angry at something that Butler did if it has nothing to do with her, and because she wasn't existing until that point? After I yelled at her, Beth went silent for a while. Whether my words had reached her or whether she was thinking about something completely different, I couldn't tell. But for a while she was silent, gazing at me with an expression I could read no emotion from, and when she realized that I'd noticed, she averted her gaze. Then she turned her back to me and said this.
バトラが対戦相手をやめてくれぬ以上、このゲームを放棄することは認められぬと。ならば東欧、そもそもそこにいる男に資格？
What?
さっきのテストとやらのことだぜ。
What are you talking about, girl? You.
I told you you were not prepared for this. I told you a while ago.
何をする気？
あんたまさか。
これよりそなたにわらわの対戦相手たる資格があるかどうか。よいか。その資格が認められれば。
Okay.
そして勝敗の決着がつくまで。
俺にはもとよりその覚悟は。
しかしその資格がな。そなたは対戦相手が消えればわらわは堂々とここを立ち。今日らもよろしい。口出しは無用。
どうぞお好きなように。
バトラー、あんたしっかり答えるのよ。
Of course.
資格があるからこそ俺はここにいる。何も怯えることなんざねえぜ。
まさか。
It doesn't suddenly grew pale. I thought her to be calm, collected type, so that expression surprised me. What does she know?
赤で復唱してもらおう。
お、俺に復唱要求ってか。俺の。しかしどうやるんだ。
そうだと念じればできるわよ。簡単よ。
俺の名は後ろ宮バトラ。
Oh, okay, now we can do that? Okay.
おお、こりゃ面白い。やめて。
あんたの狙いは読めてるわ。でもそれはやめて。彼は。
What? I guess yeah, a bit of glare there. Then her form was wiped away in an instant.
うるさい。そなたはしばらく席を外す。 今日らもであるぞ。口出しをするならばよし。
邪魔はしないわ。どうぞご自由に。
What is she gonna ask?
あいつ消す気よ、バトラを。
なんだとあいつ。
それでは資格をと普段のゲームが攻守が逆になった。これは最後の最後でとても貴重な体験。良いか。まずはわらわが赤で書く。わらわは黄金の魔女ベアトリー。そして後宮金蔵の孫後宮バトラと戦うためにこのゲ
Okay.
ームを。
そんなことはし、だからなんだ。
副将要求。後宮バトラの母は後宮アスムである。
ああ、そこでなんでお袋の名が出てくるんだよ。
Is he actually Kirya's son?
Gone.
無駄口はいらぬ。ただ赤で副将せよ。
Better urge me with the same in different tone. I don't have a clue what she's trying to do. I have absolutely nothing to feel guilty for that would trouble me if thrown in my face, and there's nothing that I'm hiding. There's nothing that could trouble me by demanding that I repeat it. So why does something like this?
いいぜ。後宮バトラの母は
Oh, okay. This is
後宮アスムである。
okay.
赤便利だな。戸籍標本を持ってくる面倒もね。
無駄口はいらぬ。続けるぞ。そなたの名は後宮バトラである。
うん。俺の名は後
You
宮
said
バ
this
トラ。
before, so you know.
後宮バトラは後宮アスムから生まれた。
Didn't that was already said?
No.
Shinaba's mother is Roshinomiya Azumu.
Someone's mother and
Ushiro
being
Miya
born
Batora
for
wa
someone.
Ushiro
It's
Miya
direct,
Asumu kara umareta.
more direct.
Okay. I mean, it could be like adoptive. I can, yeah.
Yeah.
そなたは後宮アスムから生まれた。
俺は後宮。
What? He's not Butler?
You can't lie in red.
At that time, my throat suddenly closed. I was startled with a choking suffocation. What's going on? One more time.
俺は後宮アスムから生まれた。俺は後宮アスムから生まれた。なんだ。
So it's not the only thing is that he's not he's really not Butler.
さっきまでは簡単にできてたのに急に赤がうまくできなくなったぞ。
副将を拒否するのか。
拒否なんかじゃねえ。なぜかうまくいかねえんだ。俺は後宮アスムから生まれた。なんでだ。畜生、なんで赤が使えないんだ。そんなバカな。
Emergency Miyazumu, right? Why can't I say that fucking red? What's going on? This is...
語れぬ赤を無理に語ろうとすると無理をしなくてよい。以上の事実からわらわは覚えているな。青は相手を否定すれば赤での否定が義務付けられ、それがない場ではマイルズ。以上の副将要求並びにわらわはなぜならベアトリー後宮金蔵の孫である後宮バトラとよって後宮金蔵の孫である後宮バトラであること、それに対する副将、これは資格の喪失を意味するものである。
Well, didn't really say that, but okay.
赤で早く。
ああ、俺は後宮バトラだ。それを赤で復唱できている以上、俺は
そなたが後宮バトラの名を持つ。しかし人命は独占される。複数の人間が後宮バトラを何も
Okay, now tell me how many people in the world are called Shirumiya Butler because I will I have to ask, because, I mean...
すなわちこういうことです。そなたは後宮アスムの息子、後宮バトラと同姓同名の別人である。
バカなこと言うんじゃねえ。俺はお袋の子だぞ。後宮アースムの子だ。俺は後ろ宮アースムからなぜだ、なぜ俺がお袋から生まれたと言えないんだ。こんなバカなことがあるというのか。
苦しむことはわらわは遊ばに。これにてそなたは後宮アスムの息子ではない。
What?
そんなバカ。
そなた
That doesn't make any sense.
後宮バトラを名乗る何者なの。
俺は後宮アスムから生まれた。
いいや、わらわの対戦相手たるその証拠に。
証拠だと。
そなたは6年前の罪を知らいいや、真の後宮バトラならば罪だが、結果的に罪は起こり、6年の月日が空白となって、当時を何も知らぬ男が後宮バトラを名乗って六軒島へ姿を現し、その真相はこうだ。
6 years ago, my opponent, the true Shirimiya battle, was already dead. You were part of a plot by Rudolph that had something to do with distribution of the inheritance. A body double set up by Shirimiya battler's place. What?
そんなバカなことがある。そんな。
しっかりしなさい。まあ、言い返せないなら仕方がないわ。バトラにその資格はなく。
But what?
そういうことよ。ベル。
So is this the scene at the end?
それを認めちゃったら、あんたも負けちゃうのよ。
Is this the scene? Is it in scene?
No, no. Because if he's not a Shirimiya Butler, he does not know that scene. So we don't know what the scene is. This is not a Shirimiya Butler, right?
Who says that? Why is not he? Who is he if it's not him? What?
なんでバトルの肩を持ってるの？残念よ、バトル。あなたにベアトリーチェの対戦相手たる資格、私もうかつだったわ。資格のない駒に張って私の乾杯だわ。ベアト。
負けも勝ちもただ元からいなかったと言うべきか。
じゃあよ、俺は親父やお袋の子じゃ。俺は誰なんだ。お袋の子じゃないってんならなんだよ。縁もゆかりもない赤の他人の子だと。
それならば金蔵の血はいずれにせよそなたにこの
バカな
もうよい。もともとそなたが後宮バトラでない可能性も。
What?
だから問わねばな。本当のバトラなら知っていることを。残念だ。そなたがひょっとしたらわらわも1000兆分の1の奇跡にかけた。だがやはりそなたは同姓同名の別人だった。
Bit by bit, Battlestorm began to be clouded in darkness. No, maybe it was the other way around. The whole world was clouded in darkness, leaving only Butler. But was down on all fours, hanging his head and repeatedly questioning himself. However, he was not given an answer. In the world stained with darkness, Beto spoke something and Lambda ran up to him, yelling something very quickly, but already seemed very far away and didn't reach Butler's ears. Then he, not knowing who he himself was, erased himself.
これで対戦相手は、それではこれで、今日らも旅支度を整えられるが、我が領地にて。もうな、それではごきげんよう。さらばだ。
What? Without saying anything anymore, she got her own form in darkness as well and disappeared.
あんた、バトラ、消えちゃった。負けず嫌いのあんたが、この結末でいいわけ？
あんたはなら万々歳おめでとうラムだ。じゃあまたどこかの世界、まあ無限のかけらせ、どこかでまたご縁がある確率はそれこそ
Again with the quadrillion, by the way.
1よりも少ないでしょうけど。じゃあね、バイバイ。
待ってよ、ベル。
Chasing after my castle disappeared first, Lamadada disappeared as well. After that, everyone was gone. The city was now completely empty. It returned to silence, almost as though no one had been there from the outset. No one was here in the first place. Then the silent study spoke that wordlessly, and the sound of the wind and the rain began to fill the room bit by bit. But wait, in the game, Butler is there.
I mean, it's just abandoned.
In a world where everything has sunk into darkness, Beto questioned herself.
やはり魔法は初めからマリアージュ・ソルシエールの中。
そうだね。マリアもエンジェの時にそう思ったよ。
魔女同盟はその二人で始めた。他のものを混ぜようというのが。
こんなにも楽しい。マリアたちはその輪に親しい誰かを、そうして魔女同盟がどこまでも大きく、みんなで楽しく魔法が使えて幸せになれたらと願った。
だが魔法を理解できるのはやはりわらわとその。
私たちは奇跡が巡り合わせたこの世界で、マリアはもうベアとさえいれば、
そなたさえいればもう誰も。
マリアージュ・ソルシエールは結成したその一番最初の時点でもう完成していたんだよ。
そうで、まさにそうであるな。
Was once a witch's alliance to make everyone happy together with magic. I wonder when it got this screwed up. What did I want to do when I started this game? Can't really remember even that. No, I may remember, but that's a feeling I now wish to draw away into the far side of oblivion.
いいよ。何もかも二人だけのマリアージュ・ソルシエール。私たちは互い、そして誰にもだからもう傷つかない。すべて忘れようね。ベアと私たちは永遠だよ。
マリア。
Why is she crying? What the heck? Is the chapter gonna end like this? Because I will riot.
No. There's
Okay.
a bunch more, but it's just take it as it is. Trust me. Trust me on this. It's such a good scene. God damn it.
Of course we're back here in the future because of what the heck? You throw the bomb and then move away the end. Take away the end, of course. I suppose it's a good point to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I was waiting for this. I knew.
Okay, no, seriously. If it's not, it's not possible that it's not Butler. Who else could he be? He remembers things from the past, actually, so he just doesn't remember a specific thing, apparently.
There's a very simple way to solve the situation, but Butler, being the idiot that he is, and because of this we love him, did not see it. It's very simple.
I'm not seeing it as well, but okay.
I think.
I mean,
if you think about it, if you give it a few days, I think.
I mean, it could say in Reddit he's Rudolph's son, so he's still Butler.
There we go. That's it.
Is it really that simple? I thought about it and I said, okay, wait, if it's not a zoo, it was that stupid that I thought, well,
Yeah.
if it's not Azumu's son, it must not even be Rudolph, because in that case, it would have thought about it. It's that simple, but it's not even okay. So he is Rudolph's son, but
the actual explanation is a little bit more convoluted than this. But if he said in red, "I'm Rudolph's son," there.
But that okay. Question: if he wanted to say I'm Rudolph's son, would that work?
Yeah.
Okay, then he's stupid. Okay. Then it's just dumb.
He was so upset that he could not say that he was Asuma's son.
Okay, but still, if you're there and you're like, okay, I'm disappearing. I need to describe what I am. I need to prove that I am Butler. Okay, if I cannot say that I'm my mother's son, I can say I'm my father's son, and that would be the same.
But after all of that discourse about, oh my god, my mom, it was deserved.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand that. I completely understand that, but still, you think about it though. Come on. If you're there, you think about it. If you're asking, prove yourself that you're Offie. And you cannot say I am my mother's daughter. You can say I am my father's daughter. It is basically the same thing, and you will still be yourself.
I guess, but it's Butler we're talking about, the Pixel.
Yeah, no. I do agree with that, but still.
Yeah, I thought that this scene was gonna come up. And I theorized that we would get it tonight, but I thought it was gonna be slightly before.
Okay.
I didn't think it was right at the end. Still, I'm still missing one scene. God damn it! What the hell is it?
Don't ask me. I have no idea.
I have no idea where it is.
Don't ask me, Erpid.
Still, if this whole second half of tonight's stream, keep it in your mind as it is.
Okay. I am very confused, but okay. The only possible explanation is that if he's not Azumu's son, it must be Kyrie. Or if it's not Kyrie, and if someone else, is he adopted?
I thought about it, and I think you can get your answer if you think about a certain other part that we played and that you really liked. So I suggest that you think about it for a while.
Yeah, what part can you say or not?
It would be a bit too easy. I'm gonna give you a hint in a few days if you can't.
Okay, I'll think about it. Is it just I wanted to ask to be precise? Is it a part in a flashback or in the actual game?
Actual game.
Okay, yeah. To make things more. I mean, it's not like I cut up a lot, but still.
No. I'm gonna say actual game.
Okay.
And it's not this chapter. It's
Okay.
Chapter, but it's a scene that you really liked.
Okay. Okay, everyone. It is pretty late, so we will go.
Let's go.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'll see you in a bit and PixelBit. Next stream is gonna be in today. There's gonna be Dino Crisis. What about you?
I'm gonna have a stream tomorrow. It's gonna be Silent Hill F. Yay.
Oh. Okay, everyone. Bye bye and good night. Bye.
Bye.